let's celebrate. There's a party going on right here, a celebration to last throughout the years. So bring your good times and your laughter too. We're gonna celebrate your party with you. Come on now. Let's all celebrate and have a good time. We're gonna celebrate and have a good time. It's time to come together. It's up to you.
On my own, broken and alone, I feel the rain crashing down. All around this empty town, I'm searching for the lost.
Join us in the heart of personal transformation with Level Up Circle TV, your exclusive gateway to unlocking your inner potential and achieving extraordinary results. This TV show is your secret weapon for personal and professional development, packed with valuable insights, expert advice, and real-life success stories. Are you ready to take the leap and transform your life? Don't just watch, participate. Tune in, take notes, and then take action. The journey to your greatest self starts here. So, get inspired, get motivated, and get ready to level up. Join us and let's embark on this transformative adventure together. Click that remote and let's start making your dreams a reality. Hello, everybody. Happy Thursday. It is not in the middle of the week. We are over that. Tomorrow is Friday. Party time. For all my Laura students who's watching, today is Laura's Friday. So we're going to party in class today for sure. How is everyone doing? Check this beautiful souls. Look at this amazing community leaders who said yes to themselves first before saying yes to Susanna and I. Look at those amazing souls. Go ahead and watch them, look at them, follow them, right? See what they're doing in their community and why they are part of the anthology. It's all about energy and it's all about giving back. And I always say, be still, right? If you want to handle yourself, use your brain. If you want to handle others, use your heart. You don't know what's in their head. You can't handle that. But you can see what's in their heart. They're giving people. So I'm going to be joined by amazing sisters today. Our brother is not here. I did see him for a little bit there. So hopefully he's able to make it with his internet. He is in Nigeria. We're talking about Brother Ulu over there next to Jenny in that picture on that top right. Anyhow, yeah, this is kind of cool. You don't see my face. I can just talk. This is amazing. That way I don't have to talk and see my face. Just talk. Look at that. I just want you guys to take a moment to really, I'm grateful to really see who these people are and what they're giving to their community. You have to follow them and you really have to see what they're doing. Alone, each one of us individual, alone, our efforts are amazing. But together, we're explosive, like boom, unstoppable for real, right? The power of community is so amazing. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever your time zones are. I got really messed up on that changing of the time zone. I was late for my own party. It was not even funny. And I apologize for last week's Thursday. I was traveling to see my family. Actually, my mom, she's not doing so hot. So I visited her. She lives in the Northern California side. And then my eldest daughter, she is living next to my mom. She lives in Walnut Creek. If you're watching the babes, mommy's here. I love you and I miss you. And that was really fun because I met up with Danielle and her baby girl, Elise. And if you're watching, Elise, hi, Tita's here. I love you. Hopefully, you had a really good slime moment. She was making slime and we had to go because of traffic. It was like an hour and a half drive for us back and it was raining. But I wanted to spend time with her. I wanted her to meet my kids. And my kids are big kids, bigger than me, and bigger than her. Like really, it was kind of funny to watch our kids kind of interacted with each other. Her baby Elise is a little on the shy side, but she has spunk. Let me tell you, watch out for that one. And my kids are pretending to be shy, but they're really not shy at all. I mean, hello? Who's their mother, right? I guess half of them is their dad. I could see that, but no, they're none of my kids are really shy. At first, my eldest is kind of aloof. She watches you. My youngest, however, she just gives you a look like, you look questionable. I don't know if I want to talk to you. Other than that, she is so smart. She's my psychiatrist, my psychologist, and she's only 16, but she's the most logical person I've known in my life. So it's nice to see your kids grow up and they have a strong head in their shoulders. So thank you for giving me grace last week. And I will make sure that you guys are going to see that video because that was with Mike and Jackie, Jackie Halberg. There's a couple of Jackie in our team as well. And of course, Izzy. So it is on YouTube. It is also going to be on TV. The CEO of my network was running my show actually after that. She's like, I got you. It's so nice to have a team who takes care of you. I wanted to also share, we had our magazine yesterday, so please check it out on Level Up Academy or levelupwithdoc.com. The magazine is there. We're going to have it again in June. And someone said yes to me, so I don't have to do it alone. So I'll make that announcement today. And then, of course, I'm going to share with you our next anthology. Um, our next anthology is basically kind of the next step for this one. It's kind of similar but different. I don't know if you guys know what I mean, but there is our next anthology. It's called Moving Beyond Boxes: The Journey to Self Discovery. So it seems like, you know, when you watch a movie, like especially Tarantino, where he goes into this chaos at the very beginning and you're like, I'm so confused. And then as the movie goes along, you unravel like why that beginning happened. It's kind of like that our with our anthology. I'm not saying it's chaos, but we started with Beyond Boundaries because we wanted to show you guys our adversity as human beings and how we thrive even in the moments of despair, the moments of frustration and pain and suffering. And we still came out okay, right? In fact, we're thriving more than okay. Now that we have gone and pushed that out, now we're going backwards to how do we discover ourselves to even be thinking about thriving during adversity by moving beyond societal's boxes, right? You see where we're going with it? It's like I'm manifesting a movie here, guys. Help me out. Okay, that's what I'm trying to do. And each movie is a chapter of someone else's life, right? And I don't know if you guys watch Lifetime, but it's kind of like that, but it's like a hybrid of Tarantino where like you see what's happening first and then you kind of unravel what's going on. It's really amazing to see self-discovery and self-awareness first before you even begin to think about thriving, right? But we started with thriving and then we're going to go to self-discovery. And then I'm going to have Beyond Boundaries again after that, but it's going to be a different one. And this one is going to be a chapter of happiness, right? Because we've got the pain and we're going to focus on happiness. This one is we're going to focus on how we're moving beyond societal's boxes. It's going to be quickly coming up. It's going to be May 1st is where we're going to start. So we're doing author's call right now. So if you know anybody, if the price is the same, it's $500. We do all the edits, the marketing, your BNTV show as well. Everything is the same. And this is led by Susanna. She's going to be the publisher on this one. If you guys don't know, Susanna is an OSMA award winner writer, just in case you didn't know. I put her in 6 magazines in 1 month. Crazy, but it happened. So she's on 6 different magazines, international, all over the world. We're talking premium magazines. And then she is also obviously have her own live stream, which I produced the first one because I know she could do it. We help each other out. So if you're thinking of like, CJ, how do I live stream? Just come talk to me. I do have a class for that as well. And that way we can meet up every single week. I might do the live stream class again around June. We're going to start the class maybe around June so I can support you if you wanted to have your own production and live stream from the beginning to the end. It's important for you to, if you own your own business, to learn how to show up for yourselves. And then as budget grows, then you can have a team to produce your show. I don't do production. I can, but I don't want to. It's a lot of work. So what I'm going to do is teach you how to do it. Once you perfect it, then you can do it. So this way, everything is streamlined for you. Everything is good. You got a checkbox. And I do a lot of my teachings on video, but it's going to be a snippet of a video. I'm very particular on which button to use and how to use it, which equipment to use, which lighting to use from there. But we're doing author's call, guys. So hopefully you guys are able to join us again on the next anthology. Um, I'm going to have a giveaway probably either next week, the week after that, to be in our anthology. So come in on Thursday's show or maybe even on a Sunday show. I will be able to do a giveaway for you. Another thing that we're running, the same as before, if you bring in 4 friends, you can get in for free. So if you have 4 friends coming in, you can give in to our anthology for free because it's fun when there's more people, right? We're accepting all the way till we hit the maximum we do hit is between 30 to 40. Other than that, we cannot accept any more authors after that. It's just a lot, right? And then also we want to make sure that it's quality work, not quantity. We would rather have 10 authors and have a really awesome story because our job is to build legacies for you, for your great, 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 great grandkids to see, wow, my grandma did this. My grandpa survived this. That's so amazing, right? Think about all the amazing great greats that you have. You've read them. Now we do both. We do read them, we do podcasts, we do TV show, and watch out for, I have been off. I apologize. I've been off for about a month on my MP3. I haven't really put in there because I'm pivoting and changing. But starting tomorrow, we're going to have one of our anthology member read their book on a chapter, and I'm going to put them on 25 distribution channels, including a lot of websites out there, starting tomorrow. So I'm doing that as well, so you can have audio with their chapter. Yes, you can listen to them on Spotify, iHeart, Apple, Deezer, Notes, and FeedSpot. Thank you for putting my podcast number. I don't remember what number, but top 20 for international business podcasts. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Maybe I should definitely pay attention to talk about international business more and cultural communications. Other than that, are you guys ready? Are you guys ready? I hope. Okay, so who do we have first? Hmm, who do we have first? Hello, Sister Kinga.
Hi, how are you?
Good. How is it going? I just saw you yesterday. We had a really
Um,
good time at Susanna's.
we had a fantastic time. I think that we went over like a good 20, 30 minutes because none of us like to get off calls. Once we get on the calls together, we just want to hang out because it's hanging out
I
with
know.
our friends, getting to do
I
what we
know they're
love.
like, I have to go. I have to go to the bathroom, please. I'm like, go. We'll come back.
Yeah, yeah. We'll just kind of turn it off for a second, be like, all back. And the conversation's still going because everybody's hanging out. So I
Yeah,
love
we love each other. We love to talk. We love to
it.
also provide information and insights, right? And one thing I love about our group in the circle is that we really are there for each other, no matter what is happening with our lives. And I love that. And I'm going to bring our other dear sister before we start our conversation. Hello.
Hello.
She's all fancy smancy today. I was like, no,
Yeah.
I'm feeling less dressed.
Well, darling, I have a reputation to uphold, so and a
That's true.
brand.
That is true. That is brand. For me, I literally just go with whatever I'm feeling. Like if
Hmm.
I know I'm looking at it, and Mike was texting me. She's like, "Hey, my daughter was looking if you what kind of wigs you had." I was like, "Yeah, one of these days I'm gonna put my unicorn. I have a unicorn wig. Like it's like
Yes.
different colors, and I have a
Hmm.
green one too." And then I was like, one of these days, you just keep watching. It
Yeah.
will come out, right?
Yes, it absolutely will. And that's what I did this morning, and I always do. People always ask me that, is this planned? And I'm like, no, I get up in the morning just like everyone else. I just happen to have uh, bigger props and the freedom to do so. That's all.
I love it. I love it because it's like art, and
Yes.
you feel like you show up that way. And I
Mhm.
love that. And that's why I love you, because it's like I found somebody that I can relate to when it comes to like being just out there and have fun, because who cares? What
Yes.
you need is this and this, nothing else. Like
Right.
none of these things affects what I'm thinking or where my heart is.
Mhm.
But yet we like to judge people.
No, 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 no. See, we
Hmm.
let our brains evaluate. We can let our brains evaluate because that's what they're going to do. They're designed to do that. But unless you're acting on a thought, then it's just simply vape, right? It's just simply something that's floating through until you take it captive, until you give it motion or movement.
True,
Yeah.
true.
Mm.
Hello, sister.
Is
This
it
is
really
Sister Danielle.
reflective
I
of
met
your
her
mood
daughter.
when you
She's
wake
so
up in
cute.
the morning? Are you like, I'm feeling particularly like, you know, bright and I want to wear something really bright? Like how do you get in touch with your
Yeah.
mood on that?
Well, I get up every single morning. The first thing that I do is get into a place of gratitude. I really do spend a few moments just getting in gratitude, feeling happy about the day, everything that's going to unfold, whatever it may be. And as I go through and do that, I usually go outside really early between, now it gets dawns too late, but my favorite time of year is when it's about 4 o'clock in the morning, and between 4 and 5 the sun comes up, so it's the last part of the night, the first part of the day. It's just a beautiful transitioning point in the world and space and time. And I stretch, do my little stretches and things like that. And as I'm kind of unfolding through all of that, then I'll start actually really getting little flashes of colors, or maybe a certain particular wig, or whatever it may be. And it just kind of all just unfolds one little thing at a time. And then here I am. I certainly this morning did not plan on all of this. It just,
It
it just
just
rolled that way.
happened.
But that's what I
Yeah.
love about art, is that it keeps you on that place where you're creative, and you stay tapped into innovation, because you can't change it, right? You can, by adapting to it and figuring out how to go with the flow and work with it. So when things don't go quite as quote unquote planned, right? And that's one thing that how I use it strategically in my life, is to keep myself on that creative, imaginative, innovative side of things.
That.
And I
And
love that about you. Like, that's one thing, because I watch your videos too, and I'm like, that's amazing. And I love seeing people free, feeling free to do what they
Mhm.
want. We're not hurting anyone, we're not doing anything wrong. We're literally just expressing ourselves. And speaking of expressing ourselves, I want to ask Kinga, in your journey of this anthology book, what's the first thought that came to your mind when you said, yes, I'm going to be writing in this book with you?
I remember exactly where I was. I was laying in bed, and I think that I was probably, interacting with a post or something that you, and then it popped up and you messaged me, and I was like, immediately, I don't think I waited 2 seconds, right? And so much of it for me is understanding like who I'm going to be surrounded by, and knowing you over the past several months and getting to know you better. And I was like, I love people that really want to just take their baton and run with it and have a vision. And like, I'm like, let's go, because
Yeah.
when you fail, you can pick each other up along the way. And that's exactly what I was talking about yesterday and on Susanna's show. Is there was such a strong bond before we even got together, because it felt very purposeful in how we came together. Like, here we are, kind of, yeah, I've been talking about a book for a while, but I'm a little stagnant, and how do I just make something happen? And CJ swoops in and will be like, I'm going to make it manageable. I'm going to make it, so the parts that kind of stress you out, you don't need to worry about. And there's going to be a embraced crowd just ready to like go with you. And that's the spirit that I used to work in corporate. And so for me, I was like, yes, 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 let's make it happen. And we did.
Yeah, and thank you for saying yes, because honestly, when you say yes, you're actually saying yes to yourself and not to anybody else yet, right? Because you don't really know what it entails until you're in it, right? And I've been to so many anthologies, which I'm glad that I did, because I see the goods and the bads, and I try to make it better. It's that improvement that I want to do. And I see that it's working, and I'm like, you can definitely improve some more on the processes. And having grace for that improvement is amazing to see with people. And that's the reason why I pick and choose the people I work with. It's because I can, first of all. And secondly, is that you do need grace. When people try to be perfect, and when people try to make you peg that you have to be perfect because they're paying you, that mentality really rocks the boat and kind of gets the energy into a really different flow, right? Because sometimes, like your customer, I have customers that pay you, and like, I'm not your maid just because you paid me. Like, this can sever right now and be done. Like, I don't need this energy for real,
Yeah.
right? Because in my heart of hearts, I'm really helping you and I'm really trying my best. And I know my best is 1,000% than the person you just dealt with, for sure. But the demands and the attitude, I'm not taking it. Sorry. You can't pay me to take your crap. Sorry, just not happening, right? And with the group that we have, it's so amazing to see the vibe. Like, even when we're not doing Zooms, you guys are doing Zooms together, trying to help each other out. I'm like, yes, because that's community on its own. No control of anything but with each other. That energy, the flow, right? So I love that. And so, same question for you, Sister Jenny.
Yeah. Um, repeat to me. I know it was about joining the anthology, but
Yeah,
I
no,
guess
I wanted to know like what made you say yes, I'm going to be in your anthology.
well, I had met actually Crystal, and then very quickly Dr. New, sis, and then you. And so I too, of course, have my own book that I've, kind of been throwing spaghetti at for like the last 5 years. And it was like, oh my gosh, you could see that everyone's super beautiful, heart centric, human centric, and we have stories, right? And it's important to be sharing them. And it felt really just in alignment. And how could you say no? And I don't think it took me very long either, really just kind of figuring out the somatics of it all. But the answer was yes, right from the get go. And then the experience as it unfolded was just incredibly beautiful. I love the community piece that we have, and we really do support one another. Like you said, we're all out there doing kind of our own thing. In fact, after I get off of here, I will be doing my weekly stream as well. So and so I love being able to do that and support one another. And everyone just has such beautiful ways of sharing their stories, and all the stories were just incredibly beautiful. I've taken my time. I'm taking my time with them, with the book itself, like a fine wine. And I'm only reading when I can really give myself and give the person's chapter the time and the sacred space that it deserves. And so I haven't made it through the entirety of it. And I'm still waiting for my physicals, but I know that they're on the way, and I'm really super excited about that. But yeah,
Yeah.
just
Um Amazon keeps telling me it's in your porch. I'm like, what's in my porch? And I look, I'm like, oh, it's not my porch. It's someone
oh
else's
right,
porch. Because the book is coming and it takes forever to get those books,
yeah,
And I
yeah,
have to
no,
make
it's
sure that
great.
I just realized that in order for me to cancel and unpublish my book, like the book itself,
Hmm.
your book has to be printed. Because if I cancel now, the book will not be printed. And I was
Right.
like, when is it
Oh, so
printed?
you can't
Yeah, so
cancel
I'm
them
hitting a
yet.
snag right now in the process. I was like, oh, I'm
I
gonna
snagged you
cry.
up with my 50 copies. Sorry.
No, it's not you. There's other people who ask for 50.
Yeah.
There's another people who has 10 or 20. There's a lot. And it's
Yes.
just hilarious. I was like, okay, whatever. It is what it is. Just gonna go with the flow. Things
Yeah.
change and we pivot, and that's who we are.
Yes.
Before I ask you a portion of your book, I'm going to I don't think that you guys have heard me said anything about your like how I see your chapter. And when I I read your chapter, I actually created like a summary of your chapter. So I'm gonna read Kinga's first.
Yeah, I love that.
And this is what I have. I said, Curiosity Didn't Kill This Cat by Kinga. It's a reflective narrative that explores Kinga's journey through personal and professional adversity, emphasizing the importance of curiosity, acceptance, and self understanding. Growing up as a child of immigrants and facing the challenges of fitting into societal norms, Kinga shares how she navigated the pressures of conformity and discovered her strengths in curiosity, problem solving, and advocating for her inclusion and diversity. Kinga's story transitions from struggling with math and feeling like an outsider to becoming a successful leader in the tech industry, despite the setbacks and the feeling of being misunderstood. Kinga also highlighted the significance of nurturing support systems, being open to diverse perspectives, and the power of unconventional curiosity to uncover hidden opportunities and drive change.
Hmm.
She advocated for creating environments where differences are celebrated as strengths, fostering creativity and building inclusive communities. Her narrative concludes with her current role as a CEO and founder of Execute Your Intentions LLC, where she aims to empower leaders to create inclusive environments for exceptional business outcomes. Her chapter is dedicated to her parents, acknowledging their unwavering support and the values they instilled in her. What do you think, Kinga?
It's beautiful. And it's I appreciate that so much. I feel seen. And I think so much of this experience has been allowing me to really express myself in a way that I hadn't. It opened doors for me, and to hear somebody else's um, interpretation and not the story that I've been telling myself, which oftentimes we tell ourselves limiting beliefs, and having this community that believes in me as much as I believe in everybody else. It got my that infinity cycle of love and everything kind of going, right? And it's that action, that momentum that needed to happen. And I just feel like doing things like that you wrote that for me is such a catalyst for me. I thrive when I feel good, and I feel that's something that is so important to you to give to us. And when I'm hearing it back, I'm like, wow, she sees me. Thank you. And so many of us need that. We need to feel seen for who we are. And I feel seen. Thank you.
Jenny, are you ready for yours?
I'm ready. Gosh, so beautiful. I need to get
Okay,
my tissues. Yeah, I need to get
okay, let me see what I wrote. I said The Seasoning by Jenny Lynn Ford is a harrowing and deeply personal narrative that exposes the harsh realities of mental health struggles with the context of a paramedic's family. The story unfolds with Jenny's discovering her wife, Sue, in the midst of an overdose, accompanied by her lover. This incident marks the beginning of a tumultuous journey through Sue's battles with mental health, including multiple suicide attempts and the ultimate tragedy of taking her own life. I cried, but Jenny's details the immediate aftermath of Sue's overdose, their interactions with medical and law enforcement personnel, and the complex emotions of dealing with a loved one's mental health crisis publicly. Despite a 72-hour hold and promises of a psychological evaluation, Sue is prematurely released, leading to a devastating climax where Jenny narrowly escapes a life-threatening confrontation initiated by Sue. I got mail. The narrative delves into deep grief and transformations Jenny's experiences, moving through phases of self-destruction and ultimately a profound self-discovery. Jenny chooses to embrace her grief, allowing it to transform her life and identity. She emerges from this journey with a renewed purpose, dedicating herself to helping others navigate their struggles with authenticity and resilience. 13 years later, Jenny shares her story to challenge the stigma surrounding mental health and to highlight the importance of vulnerability, authenticity, and support. Jenny emphasizes the transformative power of grief and the possibility of thriving beyond unimaginable loss. Her chapter serves as a testament to the strength found in facing one's deepest pain and the liberation that comes from acknowledging and sharing one's truth. What do you think?
Yeah. I mean, of course, I have tears in my eyes and I'm breathing, I'm using my breath just to keep that. It's beautiful. Like Kinga said, it's so very touching to hear it come back and, from somebody else's perspective. And for me, it's about you in this moment. It's about your beautiful, empathetic heart, your ability to understand people on a very deep level based off of them opening a door and then giving you that step in to be able to do that, which I can relate to so much. And I honor the gift that you brought to that and that you just gave us, and your ability to um, have that 30,000-foot view, but still be 100% in the micro and the macro of it all. And I thank you very much for sharing that with me.
Yeah, when I wrote those, I literally cried. I was like, okay, DJ,
Yeah.
think about your brain, you know?
Right. Yes.
Because sometimes my heart takes over and then I can't write.
Yeah. Yeah.
And when Susanna and I, because even though she's doing half of the people and I'm doing half, we switch off.
Right.
And then obviously I have to edit the whole thing. So I have to read everyone's. And the change that you've done with your first draft to this
Mm-hmm.
draft, it's amazing. So my question is, do you think it helped to do the Zoom edits where everyone kind of read each other's?
Yep. It really did. That for me was that's when I got clarity. It's when I got really clear on what the assignment was, quote unquote, kind of, about like really understanding how to go in and draw it all in into that one piece, right? There's so much, and we've all had so much that it was like trying to cram it all into this one, and so it was kind of that too, about stepping back and being like, what, there's other opportunities to tell the rest of the story, because there's more, right? And there's always more. And so once I was able to do that and have that moment of clarity, then it just poured forward. And it was a huge difference between, the first was more like a dump out, and then the second was, okay, now I can put on my storytelling hat, now I can tell the story, right? And yeah.
Yeah. And I gave you guys enough time because I've been to an anthology where we literally have the weekend to write everything.
Yeah.
The weekend.
Yeah.
And you have 5 hours each. I was like, okay. Like, yeah. And that pressure, and you don't feel good when you, even if their chapter kind of comes out okay, you just still don't feel good because you feel like it's not resolute, like you didn't finish what you kind of started, right? So I
Right.
try to give as much time as possible because we all are busy people. And I always try to give grace on certain things, but we do have like a timeline, right? I'm all about
Yeah.
structure.
Yeah.
Do you guys feel like it was enough time, or was it too much time, or too little time?
For me, I think it was just the right amount of time. And I now, in hindsight, I'm like, wow. I mean, we always know that CJ is smart, right? But like the way that I help people through problems in my own project management point of view is to let people build a plan and then to sit and marinate, and then you iterate and change, because where you're headed and what you're trying to do and where it's going to land does change as we go through our own process. And I feel like that time is needed, just like you were saying, because we do a first stab at it. And what I would do is write it all out, and then I'd walk away, and then I'd come back and go, okay, now, and I'd listen to pieces of advice that you would give that was like, oh, that was really what I needed to hear. And then I'd reread my chapter with this new lens.
Yeah.
And I'd do another iteration, and then I'd learn something else. And so it gave me that time and that grace where I wasn't just stuck and feeling like I've got to commit to this is what I'm putting out there for the first time ever. I'm going to be supported and loved through this process with people that want me to, really be successful, and we're continuing to align more around it. So well done. Well done.
I think so too. I
Thank you.
agree. I agree with what, Jackie said in the comments too, that it was perfect because too much and we get lost in it, and too little we get overwhelmed. And I think that, she took the words right out of my mouth. So that's what I was going to say about it. I think that it ended up being the perfect amount of time. Space and time demand to be filled. So could you make it longer? Absolutely. But I feel that any much longer and we really would get stuck in it. We would have gotten, get muddled down in the details. About now where, with too much time, then you're striving for perfection, which doesn't exist. And that's always that sticky, murky place, right, to get into. So I think it was beautifully timed and laid out in the way that you did it. The structure of it is a structure of great success. You have 27 best-selling international co-authors, right? So I mean, I don't know how
I
you
just
measure
did.
success, but
I just redid this book cover again last night for
yes.
the coming out. Now we have a spine; it's much thicker, and I'm
Yeah,
like,
oh
I
yes.
didn't sleep till 1 in the morning last night trying to redo the whole thing
Oh.
again and restructure. I'm like, oh Lord, give me a strength to do this. Um, but it's one of those. I'm glutton for pain. Like I'm just love the challenge, you
Yes.
know. And
Yeah.
then as soon as I get that milestone, I'm like, yes, I did it. No one sees me, but I'm like dancing over here at
Right. Yeah.
1 in the morning. Like, yes,
Yeah.
I did it. And my dog looks at me. You're like, just shut up,
Uh,
mother. I need to go to bed. I need
yeah.
my beauty sleep. She looks at me so wrong last night at 1 a.m. But I finished it, and I was like, hey, no one understood my pain right now, but I did.
Yes.
Um, and I love this conversation. Thank you for that feedback. I do. Okay, everything I do, I always have a strategy.
Mhm.
Everything. And so when I did this plan, I reviewed everything that I was a part of because this is my eighth book. Everything that I was a part of, from journals to academic publishing and the timeline. And also, I looked at our demographics. We have new
Mhm.
authors, we have seasoned authors, we have somewhat of a seasoned authors. And the mixture is, if you think about it, kind of scary because you can't focus on niching down. You can't. So you got to find balance on all three. And the seasoned authors, I actually push them to their limits to redo what they're thinking because they got like, I've been writing before. I'm like, yeah, no, you're going to have to redo it because if
Right.
you want excellence, this is it.
We
Right.
level
And
up
for
here.
all new authors, number one international bestselling on the very first book you wrote, like, hello.
Exactly.
I'm so
Yeah.
proud of you guys. I'm so proud. I was like, oh my God. And Jenny, you have changed. Like, I was speechless because I saw your first draft and then I saw, and Susanna was like, this is the first draft. I'm like, I think we need some change in there. She's like, yeah, I'm going to give her some ideas. I'm like, great, good, go for it.
Yeah.
And then you came back and she's like, wait, that's different. I'm like, I know it's different. Read it again. Like because we have meetings until midnight, me and her, just kind
Right.
of back and forth what's
Yeah.
happening.
Yeah.
Because that's one thing I love about Susanna is our communication,
Mhm.
right? It's when you do a project and everyone makes decisions on their own and not communicate with the team, that's when everything falls apart. And
Yes.
I'm trying to be as transparent as possible with you guys. So you're like, what is she doing now? Like, so I need to, because you guys are part of the team, believe it or
Yeah.
not. And you
Yeah.
are the team, right?
Yeah.
And so giving you that transparency is nice. Now, I hate to end this because we are ending soon because it's
Yeah.
TV. And we're going to be on Roku channel and Amazon Fire. Woohoo. I wanted
Woohoo.
to give you at least 2 minutes each, 2 to 3 minutes each on what you want to talk about your chapter, the outcome. So if you haven't read their chapter, I'm talking to you, all 600 of you right now that's watching this. I see 600 almost watching this. If you haven't read their chapter, what you should look out for as far as what is their message. I could tell you what their message are, but it's better if they tell you what their message are. So let's go ahead and start with Kinga.
So my message is very well aligned with the next anthology that you have planned. And it's truly about when we figure out kind of generally the direction that we want to head in, the exploration piece of that can be just really beautiful. And we do need somebody to kind of give us that light to move towards, and that's within us. And I just really want people to feel that they have a way to do that. And so, as a project manager, something that I'm so passionate about helping people with is to move through their difficulty when they're like, I just need kind of my gang with me here. You know, where's my group? Where's my community? And how you can explore and create that for yourself, because everybody truly deserves the best life that they can create. And I believe that we should all be paving our own way. So.
Love it. Too. I
Your
love
turn.
that. Yeah.
What about you, Jenny? What do they expect? What should they expect in your chapter in terms of outcomes or lessons learned?
I think there's, the main goal from the chapter itself is that tough things happen. Grief is something that we all face at one time or another. And we try to run from pain, and that's absolutely normal. But I hope that my chapter helps you be able to sit with it just a little bit longer, because it truly can transform you in a way that nothing else can. And beyond that, that no matter the level of grief that you're experiencing, whether it be the loss of a loved one, the loss of a job, whether it be that you're cycling through grief of something that you've gone through personally that really hurt you very deeply, you keep going day by day, breath by breath, because you can make it through to the other side. You are worth it. You are worth every single moment. You're worth all of the effort. You're worth all of the love. And this is about you learning to love yourself. And you can do that. And that's the message of this particular chapter. And for other messages, stay tuned.
I love it. So I'm going to make an announcement that we're also taking in the. Okay, let me back up because my brain's like, woo, 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 it's bouncing. My ADHD's kicking in, guys. I apologize.
You're okay.
Refocus. When I think of a publicity hub, which I put my crown in as a publicity queen, whether you believe it or not, I believe it, okay? Because I am
We
a hype
believe
woman.
it.
I literally put everyone out there.
We believe it.
Part of authority, if you're a business owner, is to be seen so you could share the value that you can provide for your community and that they can hear you loud and clear, right? And it's expensive, let's be honest with you, on everything that you do. You breathe wrong, it's $200. You look at wrong, it's 150. Like, for real. I'm joking, but I'm not.
Yes.
And I always try to provide my community an affordable way to show up for themselves, right? And when I see some of these magazines, like, let's be honest, even if you have money, like, even if I have money, I would never pay anyone to write 800 words for $50,000. It's just not happening. I'm cheap, call me whatever. It's not happening. I would rather feed kids in the Philippines, Malaysia, Africa with my 50,000
Right.
than put 800 words, right? But it is available out there. So what I've done is I have already a platform. I'm creating my own Level Up Circle magazines to highlight community members, exclusive. It's not exclusive, but it is at the same time because I pick and choose who I want to highlight in that magazine and write it from my heart and what I think about them. They answer the questions, but I summarize of what they see themselves and what I see of themselves. It's like a hybrid of thoughts, right? It's like they said, it's nice that you're writing your own story, but it's so nice when people recognize your story and it's aligned. And that's what I do is I create authority for you so you can align with your customer. At the end of the day, you need customers to get your business going. But it's hard to find customers when you don't know where you're going, right? So creating a brand and authority, you're all over the place with all these magazines, which I have access to. One of them is the 50,000 I'm talking about. And I'm like, oh my God. So Jenny said yes to me, and she and I will be looking for the next people to be highlighted on Level Up Circle magazine by June. And we are definitely looking for people now because it takes time to edit and write it and make sure we do the placement correctly for you. And I'd say 4 pages, 3 to 4 pages is your coverage for the magazine. And I'm also testing it. I actually try to buy the printed copy of the magazine, so we'll see how that works. Because it's nice to have your own magazine in your hand physically rather than just online. So I'm trying to find ways in that as well. But Jenny said yes. So her and I are going to be doing the magazine. It's going to come out in June. The March already came out. We're also looking for sponsors to put your business on there and in the magazine. Online, we'll have a link. If you also have a message video with your sponsorship, we will take that as well. And you can DM me for more information about that. But it's coming out in June. And there's a lot happening in June. We're also going to have the book authorship in June. I am creating, if you're physically going to be in San Diego, and if you're in the US, I am going to be selling and creating a tote bag to create more fundraise for our tree. I still want to get our tree, but it's kind of expensive tree because we're giving back again jobs for our farmers, right? And also we're doing the United Nations goal 5 out of the 17 to help the community. I'm always doing the full circle by giving back. I'm not a rich person, so I need all your help to give back to our community in a small but bigger ways, right? What you're giving somebody's job could be a lifeline for them and their kids. You just don't know. And I'm manifesting good things for them as well as much as we can. And we're helping our community as much as we can because as business owners and founders, we don't have that much budget. So we're just trying little bits and pieces for everyone. Any last minute quote for you guys before we end the show? Kinga?
We love you. We love everything about this, and I hope that more people join us because, and I'm sure that I was busy because I'm like, wait, I want to be in there too. And it's like there's so many. I love the way that your brain works. So many exciting opportunities out there for us all. So I'm in too.
Yay. And I don't know where Jenny went. She's like, I'm in the magazine. I'm doing it with her. What am I thinking? Saying yes.
It's always fun. It's always guaranteed a good time.
That's true. That's true. Well, we love you, Jenny. I don't know what had happened, but thank you guys so much for being here. We are closing to 1,000 people watching us. We appreciate you. Ollie is here. Dr. New Jackie, love you, sister. Ollie, bro, we missed you. Come back. We want your audio room for sure. And we say that yes, and we're gonna thrive and move beyond that box, okay, for sure. Love you guys so much, and thank you so much for being here, and we appreciate you, and we will see you on Sunday. I don't have any clue who I'm gonna have Sunday, but usually Sunday for me I don't really have people. What I'm trying to do for Sunday is to give back to my community for free by teaching you certain things that I teach at universities for free. So that's what I do on Sunday to meet my vision of being the Netflix of education. Bye, everybody. Have a beautiful day. Kinga, don't go anywhere.
Okay.
Bye, people. See ya.